Okay, so someone asked me to do a let's play of me making one of these turns. And I told them that I'd probably be very boring because half the turns I'm not really doing much of anything other than, like, I'm not even rolling anything half the time. But this turn, the Joker team managed to wander right into my clever trap card. You know, and I thought that having no less than 3 people either feel a bad feeling or completely lose their fucking mind out of fear would be a good enough indication that, hey, this is a bad thing. Apparently not. Apparently not. They did not catch that this might be a bad thing, and instead decided to open the door anyway when the mission was essentially over. Never let it be said that I do not allow you all the freedom in the world to kill yourself in any way you wish. So, the first one we have here is Trirar, who is the only guy outside of the ship. He's floating back. I'm trying to think if I should even give him anything, because he doesn't have a, I'm looking at his character sheet here. He doesn't have like anything that could protect him from this. Oh, the thing here is it's a booby trap. It's a booby trap in the room. There's actually nothing in the room itself. The door itself is booby trapped. So when you open the door, it activates all of the nuclear missiles that are packed onto the ship, just in case, you know, somebody came in, they wanted. It's the self-destruct, essentially, you know. So it's kind of a rocks fall and you die here moment. It's kind of a rocks fall and you die here moment, which is why I stuck it in a completely unrelated room and gave a lot of warning before going in there. But it seems like the reason I can justify it being in there, because it seems like the sort of thing that they would put in that ship, you know. They are trying to protect it against people trying to take it, and they are trying to protect it against the Heibai if they get in there. So the idea being that if the Heibai get in there, they'll just tear through all the rooms in there and they'll set it off. And if a looting party, like some sort of stereotypical space pirate, comes in there and goes through, they'll probably try to break into every room looking for loot. And they will access it, and yeah, it will destroy them. So, guys, you're killing me. You're killing me here. Alright, so there's no real, there's not like a countdown or anything. It's not a Samus run out of the room thing. Trirar. Yeah, Trirar here. Let's get the cheat sheet up for this thing. Let's get the cheat sheet up. Where are you? There you are. ARM archives. Scroll down. Mission 19. Okay. Yeah, he's got an MCP-1, an armored exoskeleton, which gives him some degree of resistance, universal chem thrower, goop grenades, battle stem. Yeah, he doesn't have like an amp or anything that could protect him. We'll give him an endurance roll. We'll give him he's got that armored exoskeleton, so he's dying regardless. But we'll give him an endurance roll because he is away from the ship. And a lot of the damage from an explosion like this comes from the air burst and the heat and everything. His suit is well protected against that. So he'll die, but if he gets a good roll, he might not permanently die. Alright. For this one, I usually use random.org. But for this, like with most of the times when I'm killing people, I have a little ritual of using my black dice. Or my black die, actually. I just have a black die that I roll on my table here, because I figure if I'm going to kill somebody, I might as well give them the courtesy of doing it with a physical, real-life dice. So, with his endurance of +1 and the exoskeleton, I would say he has to get at least a 5. 6 would work too, but 5 or 6 or it really won't work. There's a lot of radiation to the brain. He got a 5. Dryrar lives. Okay. Well, lives. Assuming we can pick his corpse up. So let's see here. Let's write this out. How should he really wouldn't even see anything. So you don't see a thing. I'm not gonna try and type and speak at the same time. Ruins my ability to concentrate. So give me a second here. I'll do this for you. I'll stick on some nice music while I actually write the little bit of the turn here. And if I think of anything to say while thinking about how to write this out, then I'll tell you. But I don't really want to like loudly announce my writing process just to show off how bad it is. And here we go. Alright. That's Triar's thing done. We'll have to go pick his corpse up at some point, assuming Steve feels the need to. Now then, for the rest of you, let's look for your actual actions here. Okay, so Ramel, or we'll just call him Mesk, because I'm not sure quite how to pronounce his name, Cello Man. He's backing up the breach operation with a monorazor and glue, of all things. Yeah, he's probably in the back there. Let's double check his sheet real fast. See if he has anything. I'm giving you guys as many opportunities to protect yourself in any way as I can. Does he have any artifacts which could allow him to survive? Mark III. Well, at this range, inside the ship, I assume that Trirar and the black ship, or whatever you want to call it, the ship that's invisible, are quite a distance away. Not hugely, but they're, since you're in space and you can move pretty quickly, move over distances pretty quickly, I assume he's a couple miles, or at least a mile or so away, you know. So he's in very bad shape, but he's outside of the vaporization zone. Since the thing about nuclear explosions, if I remember right, is if you take 2 megaton explosions and put them off right next to each other, you don't get a 2 megaton explosion. It doesn't like add up. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I may be wrong about that. You better hope if I am, though, you may not want to tell me, because that might just be a total mission kill. Alright. So Mesk ain't got nothing that could protect him. And I don't think there's anyone else except Mesk except Trirar, who is off the ship right now. I'm looking through here, and none of them seem to be. No. Okay. Irony Owl. Let's double check her stats and stuff. Or his, or her. Kind of hard to say when the pronouns of the character and the player contradict. So, Faith. Kinetic Amp, that won't help her. Microwave Field Manipulator, nah, that won't be able to really put up anything. Vacuum Maneuvering Pack, no. Nothing there. So, nothing for her. Pancake. Pancake might be the one to live through this. He's got the universal amp, which means he's quick enough. Okay, so with the universal amp, he has the ability to respond quickly enough if he understands what happens. Which is going to be... which should that be? I can do general knowledge. He does have a +1 in that. This is one of those things where I can use a number of stats, a number of different stats, for him to comprehend what's happening. I think we'll go with mind. He's got a +3 in mind, but I don't think I'm going to give him the full benefits of that, because this is a very fast, very it's a extenuating circumstance type of roll. So I'm going to give him around a +1 or a +2 actual roll here. So for the most part, he should be fine unless he rolls very poorly. He got a 6, he's fine. Okay, so he realizes what's happening right now. The doors are opening, and he sees the tripwire cut. And he realizes that something bad is about to happen. So he is going to essentially try to protect himself and the group by putting a wall of force around himself and the group, or as much of the group as he can. Depends on how good he rolls here. If he rolls very well, excuse me, my throat is swelling up and I am dying. If he rolls very well, then he can get the whole group. But he'd have to get like a 5 for that to get the entire group. And that would drastically affect his mind too. Or if he rolls less than that, he'll be able to get fewer numbers, but still some of them. If he rolls very poorly, he'll get only able to protect himself. Oop, fell off the table. Got a 6 on that. So he is going to try to protect the entire group. But this is like 12 nukes going off right in his face. I don't think he's going to be able to hold that. Let's see, what's his mind at? He has a lot of mind. He has 35 points in exotic. Jesus Christ. He has a lot of points in mind, but not a whole lot. I don't think that's going to be enough, not for the entire group, for him to protect them all. For him to... Okay, so he's definitely going to... Let's see how he rolls for this. That's a 1. Okay, so he... Okay, it's not good. But he does have very good points in that. So he is going to, because of his good roll in those two, going to be able to protect everyone somewhat. Enough that, like, the initial blast, the vaporization, he will protect them from being just instantly vaporized. But he won't protect them from all damage. Like, he's essentially going to throw up the shield, and it's going to take the brunt of that first very most energetic blast, and then blow away. And we'll have to roll endurance for the rest of everyone to see how well they survive that. And it really, like, if they have a good suit and they're like a robot or a synth flesh, they can roll a little less than 5 maybe and survive. But humans, anything human, if they're like just in a standard suit or even just an unarmored Mark III, they are going to have to roll a 5 for anything to survive. In fact, I really don't know if any of it should. I'm usually very nice with this. It's very unrealistic that I shouldn't actually be rolling anything. It should be one of these things of, like, they open the door, it triggers that, and the bombs instantly go off before anyone can do fucking anything. And you should all just be fucking dead. That's what it should be. That's what I should do to you guys in your looting ways. But I'm going to give you a chance, a literal... what was it? What is it for this? Like what was 1 in like an 18% chance or something? I think it is 1 in 6. Anyway, let's start at the top. Renegade Lobster, good old Thad. It's a Mark III with battlesuit plate, which is pretty good. We'll give him a endurance roll. Okay, I'm going to say anyone who doesn't have a +1 in endurance at least is just dead. So Thad has at least a +1. So let's see if he lives it. He got a 6. Don't know if that should count. That is a success, but it's not a 5. We'll say that counts. We'll just say he's a very crispy critter. His helmet survived. But that's basically it. His helmet survived, he lost all of his items, they're gone. Okay. Tri-Rar we've done. Nav is in a Mark III with a Milno plate helmet, always good, always good. Is he a robot? Is he a robot? I feel like he is. Head is human, but body is completely robotic from the neck down. Okay. And he's got a +2 in endurance, so... We got a 4. Oh... Oh, he does have a +2 in endurance. Okay. He's going to survive, but he's going to lose a lot of stat points. Because he's going to lose a lot of brain tissue for this. He's going to be a partially recoverable brain. Mesk. Oh, Mesk. Okay, Mesk should basically just die because he's being exposed to vacuum after this, and Mesk's things don't survive vacuum well. Let's give it a roll. And he does... Oh, he has 0 endurance. He has 0 endurance. You heard it. Sorry, Mesk. You don't even get a roll. Irony Owl, she's got a synth flesh body. She's got a +1 endurance. Pretty good standing. 6. Okay. Irony. Irony's losing everything she's holding. She's going to be reduced to nothing much more than a crispy marshmallow synth flesh bit with a brain in it, but, you know, she'll survive. And Pancake. Pancake is already being pretty injured here via his whole use of the universal amplifier to do that. It's going to be draining his mind basically to 0 and beyond, so he's getting brain damage regardless, but he's got +1 endurance, he's got a synth flesh body. And he got a 5. Everyone's getting very lucky today, except for, well, Wormesk. Oh, Mesk. Tri-Rar. Trying to think if I should really let other people live, if Mesk is gonna die that easy. What was it that got a 4? I'm gonna have to look back at that for a second. Hold on. Hold on. Alright. Alright. I've looked it up, and I've done a little bit of typing in the off section there. I didn't bother to turn it back on and do it while I was doing that. But I figured out everything that's going to happen. Mesk is really the only one dying, all things considered. That's very good in terms of deaths. But basically everyone's losing everything they've got except for Tri-Rar. He gets to keep some of his stuff. Most of his stuff, actually. I think that's not mission stuff, really. Because he got protected by being in having the ship in his way. Basically everyone else, if you survive, you're either scraping your brain cells back together and squishing them into a lump and just using that, or you get brain damage, or you've lost basically your entire body. Faith is probably the one who survived the best just because of her synth flesh body, and even she then is like a burnt up torso just floating in space. And her brain's dead. You're all dead, but to various degrees of dead. Alright. Now let's see. Really set that up as best excuse me. Really set that up as best I can there. At this point, it's just going to be up to Milno and some salvage crew to grab the corpses and bring them back home. And then course, for them to inevitably get on a shuttle and try to get down. I don't know. Maybe we'll stick Milno and some people on a shuttle so they can do some shooting and maybe stop the shuttle from being destroyed on the way down and the way back up. But we've lost our distraction. We've lost our ability to drag the planet over into UWM space and use it as a distraction. So it's a fairly significant blow. We can only hope that we manage to get this nerve cluster back up to our ship, up to the sword by any means necessary. Because you've seen how good the Heibai are. If we can use it, we'd be in a good shape, but this is not going as well as it could be. Alright. Talk to you guys later.